All right, bet. Y'all already know what it is. It's All Facts, No Opinion Sport Podcast. I'm your host, Louis Wantre. Y'all already know what it is, man. We don't let nothing marinate. We get straight to the sauce. Everything saucy. It's fight week, baby. Fight week. Beautiful time to be alive. 2025 is starting to look like the 80s and 90s of boxing. Um, the only problem is now you got too many fanboys. So instead of you calling a person a fanboy or a nut hugger, they want to call you a casual. But Chris EuBank, Conor Benn tomorrow, and not even in a couple hours. It's going down. Shakur Stevenson still with the disrespect. He disrespecting core. You went from a main event, now you just on undercards. It's crazy. The Shedeur Sanders snub in the first round. We're gonna talk about everything. It's a lot to talk about. I got a new segment coming up. But welcome to the cook-up hours. Right now, it's going to be the cook-up hour. I need my viewers and my subscribers in the comments when y'all see this to let me know what's the best time. What is the best time to make it happen? I will put my Cash App and PayPal in the comments. If you want to support the channel, because right now I'm being shadow banned. They're not trying to monetize me. They playing with my numbers, but hey, it's cool. We know when you tell the truth, things like this occur. So it's not a biggie, baby. It's not a biggie. We just gonna eat through it and we gonna ball on it. Know what I mean? We gonna walk around. Gotta come out here. See the car, gotta wash the car up. But y'all deep in the trenches of Philadelphia. You deep in the trenches. This is Kensington. Really is Badlands, Kensington is just the average right around the block. Everything that you see on YouTube, Instagram, this is where we at, 10 toes here. Probably later on or tomorrow, I'm thinking about how I'm going to drop a new song. I'll probably drop it Sunday. But I'm going to drop a new song, really a freestyle. PIP, my guy, medic. But let's get into it. Let's get into it. Let's talk it. Wake and bake. But we got to get into it. I would like to talk about how we going to start this. If we're going to start it, the fight of this week, it's a real rivalry from father to sons. November 18th of 1990. We seen the fathers fight. We seen Nigel Benn versus Chris EuBank, senior. It was a war, but now these sons here, could a victory go the other way? Me personally, I like Chris EuBank Jr. But Conor Benn is a machine. He's different. He's different. And I like Conor. With the knockout. But Chris EuBank Jr. He's gifted. He's real gifted. We see the training, especially how he cutting weight. But I'm going with Conor Benn. I don't know why. I'm just going with Conor Benn. I got Conor knocking him out. I just don't know where. I don't bet, but I want to put some money on it. But I don't know if it's going to be between. Some saying the 7th, but something say it's between the 6th and the 9th round. It can happen. And I got him dropping. It's only 2 shots. Either a body shot. If I was over there, I'm in Philadelphia, so no. Hell no. If they had a portal, I'd be there. But this is a big fight, man. This is a big fight. Of this year, I'm being honest. People might say I'm tripping. No, I never been to London. I would like to go to London, though. I would like to go to London. I got to set up a trip out of London. Because recently, I just been traveling all 50 states here in America and trying to get on this side. But when I get over there, I will be stopping in London. But first, I got to go to Mecca, man. I mean, it's the first thing. It's the first thing. It's the first thing. Got to make Hajj. Anything else is irrelevant. So I make Hajj. But, this is one of the ones, man. Even in '93 when they fought, it was one of the ones. But no, My facts is, this is one of the biggest fights that's out there. This is a big fight of this year. Um, yes, this is a big fight of this year. And 2025 is starting to look like the 90s, with all of these big fights happening, all these big fights coming in to fruition and stuff. You know, it's a great time to be alive, man. But this fight right here, what caught me off guard was the father and son beef. I don't know where the beef come from. As I'm watching it, I thought it extended from the egg. When Chris EuBank snaked Conor Benn with the egg. And I started laughing because I'm like, damn, Conor Benn definitely said the eggs gave him PEDs. Made him test dirty. But no, that only added more fuel to the fire. How calm he been. He's going to come in and neutralize. That's great. That's great. That's great. That's great. No, I have cousins from that they used to live here in Philly and friends. They live in Yemen. A lot of them moved out there. A lot of them moved out there. My cousin Sabor out there right now. That's where he live at. Even showing my son the salats and stuff with all of my kids. But in Philadelphia, Islam is majority the top religion here in Philadelphia. It's a beautiful religion, man. It's beautiful. It's definitely beautiful. But sometimes it's just here, when you just get certain ignorant people that don't really know the laws of the land or the Sharia laws. Facts. I can state that facts. I can state that facts because they only living off their father's name. Because I'm gonna be real. Me personally, in the sport of boxing, I think Conor Benn was more than he did more than what Chris EuBank, like being a bigger fighter. Seeing the name with the knockouts and stuff, but they just living off their father's name. That's all it is. That's all it is. But Conor Benn has some. He beat Chris Algieri. He won, but the distance with Pete Dobson. That's one of my best fighters, Prince Nassim. One of my best fighters, man. I felt though he got robbed in that fight that he said he lost. What was the Mexican guy, Antonio Barrera, whatever his name was? I felt as though they robbed Prince. How he picked him up off the cam and slammed him in the corner. It just was crazy. But what surprised me too is Shakur. Ever since Shakur left Top Rank, he been on the undercard. Bro, when you was with Top Rank mate, you was headlining. You was getting 3 to 4 million, no more than 5 million to fight. Now you getting pennies, bro. You getting 1.2 million, 2.5 million. You was making more with Top Rank, and plus, you was the main event. Now you can't even main event, no fight where you at. And then the crazy thing is, you watch the propaganda, right? Because he signed a two-deal fight with Matchroom with Eddie. He still owe Eddie a fight. You understand me? He still owe Eddie a fight. Then you just got these people, oh, well, he's this, he's that. Listen, Turki owned Ring. You understand? Ring magazines make people ambassadors. It's like me. If I start a brand and I'm like, oh, I want one of y'all to be an ambassador, and I sponsor you and pay you just for the brand, just to wear the brand, does not mean that you're assigned to me. When you watch Keyshawn, Shoo, all signed to Ring as a brand ambassador, everybody like, hey, Turkey signed. No, he just signed them as a brand ambassador. So every time you see they fight, they will wear the Ring logo on their robe, their trunks, their boots, their glove, etc. Every time they do an interview, you will see the ring posted up somewhere. It's called being a brand ambassador. Any interview you do, that ring sign will be there. There's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with that. But you know, a lot of people they they don't understand what sponsorship, what sponsoring is. You know, but you let them tell it. Oh, they just signed a Turki. How? When he's a top ranked fighter. You understand me? It's like with top rank. It's like Riyadh season, right? Riyadh season is a brand. No, Turkey smart. All right, we're going to put the brand out here. We're going to have all these people. Yo, Kendra, what up? We're going to have all these people sponsor this shit. You know what I mean? And we're going to go from there. Ain't nothing wrong with that. You know, get that money. But at the end of the day, you know, if he's forcing all of these Ring Magazine champs to fight each other, they're going to fight. I'm good, baby. You know, I got Conor Benn tomorrow, man. I got Conor with the knockout, man. Conor better knock this nigga out, man. He better knock this nigga out for his dad. You know, bring that shit back home. Damn right. Good looking, my bro. I mean, all nut shit right now. Yeah, I like Conor, man. I like Conor. It's one of them ones, man. And a lot of people keep saying Eddie Hearn don't put on big cards. That's a motherfucking lie. That's a lie. Eddie Hearn been putting on these big cards. And I'm gonna be real. I had to take something back. I felt like Shakur apologizing to niggas, but I had to take it back, you know, about how the guy from the WWE is here, you know, working with Turki and Dana and all of them, and how he's making all of the press conference they look fire. How he's making ring entrances more bigger like WWE. It's fire. It's fire. And I'm a salute to that. It's fire. You know what I mean? But we got to get these fights, man. We got to get these fights. You know, they putting on the wrong fights and saying, oh, the people want these fights. No, the fuck we don't. These is the fights we want. Know what I mean? These is the fights we want. You know, after Canelo Bud, if it really happens, I would like to see Conor Benn in there at least with Bud, Boots. You know, give him a good American name. You know, but that'll be between 160, 168. If Bud beat Canelo, I ain't got him coming back then. You know, I ain't got him coming back then. I just got him staying up there because it makes no sense of coming back then. You know, but if Canelo was smart, Canelo could have told Turki, oh, Benavidez want to fight me? Bud want to fight me? Oh, let Bud first match at 168 be bet. While I'm fighting William Skull, Benavidez and Bud should have been on that motherfucking undercard as co-main event fighting each other. And if I win, they get an undisputed title at 168. But it didn't go like that because people let other people negotiate for them. But sometimes you got to negotiate for yourself and put that shit in the atmosphere, you know? And then you got a lot of people, you know, that won't say nothing. That, you know, let a myth, that let a lie spread across social media, and then a person say, oh, I ain't see it, nigga, when we all saw it. You know what I mean? Then when we all see it, and you come out saying some dumbass shit like that, you know, a lot of us gonna be like, damn, bro, you a duck. You duck such and such, you know? And, you know, that all pertaining to last year of Thanksgiving, you know what I mean? When the Boots of Virgil shit happened. You know? But like right now with the Shakur shit, it's crazy. Like Shakur, I don't think Shakur, and this is the crazy thing about Shakur. Let's say he beat Williams at Payton. What do you got the level with Tank? It's going to be like, the level is, we already know Tank the A side, Shakur already know he's going to be the B side. But what can you bring to the table if, since you left Top Rank, you're not headlining no more, bro? They taking you off paper. Then that's the crazy thing. The whole fight should be pay-per-view. How you just putting that? I'm hearing that it's only going to be certain fights pay-per-view, but Shakur not. That's the dumbest shit I ever heard. Know what I mean? That's the dumbest shit I ever heard. It's just like last time, you know, when Benervie and Bibble fought. No, if I'm not mistaken, it was the May 22nd card, right? When Shakur, you know, started claiming that he did them numbers. This is no lie. Shakur is the biggest name on that whole card. Excuse me. Even with this card coming up, Shakur and Williams Zepeda should be the main event. There's no way that Edgar Berlanga and Shiraz is the main event. You understand me? It's no way. So if I was core, I look at it like, bro, y'all playing me. I'm a bigger name than everybody on this card, and you got me on the undercard. It's crazy. Even if it's co-main event, it's crazy because you went from being a main event to going to co-main event. It's very disrespectful. You should have took the PBC deal for one fight. Even win, lose, or draw, you would have been the Lamont Roach. And I tell people this all of the time. Oh, Tank lost to Lamont. No, that nigga didn't. He lost to Pitbull. Tank lost to Pitbull Cruz. Why you think Tank never gave Pitbull that rematch? Tom, listen, why you think Tank ain't give Pitbull that rematch? Everybody, well, Lamont did in the 9th. Pitbull did from the 1st to the 12th. Pitbull was on Tank. Pitbull was whooping Tank ass so bad, they lied and said that he hurt his hand. And at the end of the fight, Tank said, nah, it hurt my shoulder. I thought it was the hand. All of this shit is the Floyd Mayweather effect. Everybody that have a bad night or off night, they're always going to blame their hand or their shoulder. And that's the corny thing about this boxing shit right now. I be disliking that shit instead of saying, yo, that other person, he was strong. You know what I mean? But I'ma always say it, Pitbull, like, there's a reason he ain't never gave him the rematch. There's a reason after that fight, every time Pitbull won, he called Tank out and Tank was there. Tank kept shaking his head. No. He wouldn't give him that match because that was the night he lost. You know what I mean? And I'm a boxing fan. You know what I mean? I'm a boxing fan. I'm just calling it like it is. But the Lamont fight, I'm going to put a poll up. Who did better, Lamont or Pitbull Cruz? Just go box the fight. You're going to see from the 1st to the 12th, Pitbull, it was different, man. It was different, yo. And even with the Lamont and Tank fight, you know, they both went down. You know, but with the Tank shit, I laugh at it because I'm like, I learned that. Damn, what? I'm going to say. I can't say that. I'm going to say between 92, 93, I learned, you know, how a fighter, you know, you take your paces back, you kneel on your knee, lift your arm up, then you look at the ref, and the ref will call time, and you'll run to the corner. That's how a fighter call time. You understand me? And I tell people, when you watch film, study the film, even when you're watching a boxing, just turn the volume down. The reason I say that, put it on mute, because the commentators is going to persuade you to believe one side. Like, they're going to say some shit. You watching the fighter fight, and the fighter not landing, and the fighter not doing it, and they're going to be like, oh, he's walking them down. You're like, bro, where the fuck you walking them down at? It be favoritism a lot, you know? But this is the fight I've been waiting for so far. It's one of them big ones. This is a big fight. It's one of the biggest fights of the year. It's one of the biggest fights of the year. Me personally, I think it's bigger than Bud and Canelo. The reason why it's bigger than Bud and Canelo because they both on equal grounds. For Canelo and Bud to be a big fight, Bud got to be a super pay-per-view star. That's what people don't understand. Like, you got a lot of people that want to make up shit instead of telling the truth. To make a big fight, both stars got to be pay-per-view stars. Manny Pacquiao was a pay-per-view star. Floyd was a pay-per-view star. Canelo was a pay-per-view star. Floyd was a pay-per-view star. Cotto was a pay-per-view star. Everybody I'm going to name are pay-per-view stars. This is why fights be so big. But when you're fighting, it's like a Mayweather fighting an Andre Berto. It's not a pay-per-view star. So who's carrying the pay-per-view? Floyd. It's just like with the Bud and Canelo shit. You know, but we can't blame Bud for not being a pay-per-view star. We got to blame the people that he was under. And that's my only argument. Like, Bud should have been a fucking pay-per-view star since 140. Even since even though Gamboa was on a 21-month layoff, he should have became a pay-per-view star then. But Top Rank, I must always say they dropped the ball. And the reason they dropped their ball because they already know the outcome. And the outcome is they're going to get sued. Why they're going to get sued is always money issues. You know, that's why I say, like, well, PBC, I respect the PBC because they let the brand eat. So let's say they put up 50 million. Majority of the time, nigga, you touching that. Al gonna get his portion. They're gonna get their portion. But you're gonna get your money. You're gonna make a great living. But when you get like go to Golden Boy, Top Rank, those promoters get the money, and then they just, all right, we're gonna estimate, we're gonna give them 1-2%, and then you look at it, you like, or they just gave me 10 million for the fight, but out of the 1% or 2%, you're gonna give me dang, it's 30. You know what I mean? It's got 10 million, you only making 100,000 a fight. It's crazy. I mean, it's crazy. And then out of that 100,000 a fight, you still gotta pay these niggas, and y'all just took 9,900,000 from me, nigga, and I still gotta give you something off this 100. Like, it don't be making sense. So, you know, that's why I be saying PBC, they help build your brand and put you out there. You know? But like I'm gonna tell people right now, at 168, you know, Canelo got it right now, but Caleb Plant gonna run that shit. I'm telling you, Caleb Plant gonna run that shit. You know how? He's a second half fighter now. That's all he needed, you know? Bread man in his corner. And even Caleb Plant knew that shit. Cause you watch every fight from the Benavidez to Canelo, Caleb Plant, the first 6-7 rounds he was winning. Only thing stopped him was the situations. So if the rematch happened, the same first 6-7 rounds is gonna be that same outcome throughout the whole 12. But at 168, there's one fighter everybody should avoid, you know? Not everybody should avoid, because you got to give him his flowers and you got to give him the opportunity. And he's the hardest hitting fighter at 168. And that's Trevor McCumbee. I'm telling y'all, Trevor McCumbee shit. That nigga hit so hard, they think he on PEDs. He hit so hard, they like, oh, he test positive for PEDs. And suspending him on some corny shit. Then he come back out. When he hit Caleb Plant in the arm and Caleb caught that shit with his shoulder, and that, my nigga flew across that ring, I said, damn, that nigga got retarded power. Bro, that boy got that ADD power. You understand me? That boy power is crazy. You know what I mean? You know how back in the day you grow up, they call it retarded strength? And because I knew, because my brother was like that. That nigga loud on some new Ferrigno shit. Like, oh, calm down, bro. Like, what the fuck wrong with you? So you put the water on their ass. You understand me? But Trevor McCumbee is one of the hardest hitting fighters at 168. But, when I say at Bud and Conor Benn, Boots and Conor Benn, Boots and Bud is the biggest fight in boxing. You know, Canelo Benavidez, Boots and Bud. You feel me? Conor Benn and Ryan would be a good fight. It'd be a good fight, but the only thing I don't understand is how Ryan and Roddy fighting for a WBA title when the mandatory... Alright, y'all just elevated Boots to super, so the title should have went to his mandatory. You know what I mean? So they can get a regular. Or after the Ryan Rolly fight, they can fight them and let Boots unify. No take Pacquiao out of the equation. But I see something. I see something in the making. If Pacquiao beat Barrios and that the Tank beat Lamont, there's gonna be a Mario Barrios. I mean, it's going to be a Pacquiao and Tank fight at 147 so Tank can get a belt. This is how the shit looking like it's going to play out. Shout out to Tom Brown, you know, TV promotions. You know, I miss Karen Duncan, man. Real rap. Karen had the fighters, man. But I'm going to get back at y'all. I got to charge this phone up. We be live later. We going to go ham. We going to go arm and hammer. And it's just like that, man. Everybody tune in. I probably hop back on like around 6, 7 o'clock, you know. And we gonna talk. We gonna talk more. We gonna talk more. But Shakur, you crazy being on the undercard. I got Conor in the Chris EuBank fight, but you know Chris EuBank can outbox him. But I just got Conor with the knockout. I don't know. I just got him with the knockout. And Shedeur Sanders being snubbed in the first round. It's hilarious. It's hilarious to me. And the reason I say that because it's all about Dion. It's all about Dion. Everything is about Dion. They're not worried about nothing. They just want to sabotage this young man's career because they couldn't control his father. And me, I'm going to always say is Roger Goodell. They're going to shadow ban me for this shit too. But I'm going to always say it's Roger Goodell. It's Roger Goodell doing all this. You know, you snubbing a young man out of his situation is crazy. It's blasphemy, man. You know, shout out to all of the top quarterbacks that was there, but only 2 got drafted last night, Cam Ward and Dart. But me personally, you know, Dart was cool, but they wasn't doing what Shedeur was doing. Know what I mean? Travis Hunter went second, so without Shedeur, Travis wouldn't be doing that. Now, let's keep it honest. If Travis Hunter would have went anywhere else, will he be the main focus? You understand me? Because without Shedeur Sanders, we wouldn't have a Travis Hunter. And the reason I say that, without a Deion Sanders, we wouldn't have a Travis Hunter. Why? Because if Travis Hunter would have went to any other college, they wouldn't let him play both sides. They would have stabled him and leveled him to only one situation, and that's either you're gonna be a wide. They would have put him at a wide receiver. They would have put him at a tight end position, or they just would have labeled him a linebacker or a cornerback. It's either or. You understand? But he dealt with Deion. He went to Jackson. Then he went to Colorado. They went there. You know, they put up their numbers and they did what they did. You know, and I salute them for that. But for Shedeur to be snubbed in the first round, it's blasphemy, man. It's all buffoonery, man. And it's all because of Deion. Because when he was in the NFL, y'all couldn't control him. You understand me? It's all because of Deion, yo. And that's how I feel. You know, but how y'all wanted to control Deion, his son is like that. The same way y'all wanted Deion Sanders prime time back in the day. He taught his children well. In the same way how you wanted to humble Deion, know what I mean? Level Deion Sanders, his son came to you and gave you. Now, listen, they talk about his arm, right? I just watched him throw, 50, 60, 70-yard pass. Bro, do you know how long is 40 yards, nigga? Do you know how long is 30? Like, if a nigga can throw 30 yards, 40 yards, that's a good arm. But if he's throwing 50, 60, 70 yards, that's a great arm. What arm strength you talking about? Because if he didn't have an arm, Travis Hunter wouldn't be catching all them deep-ass passes. Make it make sense. We get it. It's all because because of the jersey. Me personally, Deion Sanders' jersey from the Atlanta Falcons, from San Francisco 49ers, even to Dallas, all his jerseys should be retired. It's even Michael Irvin. I'm not even a Dallas fan, and I feel disrespected that Michael Irvin number is not retired. How? Bro, one of the greatest wide receivers in Dallas history. How number 88 is not a retired jersey? You understand me? Or y'all mad because Deion made the Hall of Fame? Like it's crazy how they doing Shedeur right now. But it only make it legendary. And me personally, I see the script. The legendary script. Watch, when he get drafted, Nike gonna come out with a situation. They're gonna have, when he come out with his own Nike shoe, it's gonna be a Nike commercial called Legendary. He probably win Rookie of the Year. Don't get me wrong. Shedeur Sanders probably come in and win Rookie of the Year. Out of all of this draft class, he's probably be the first one to see a championship or a playoff. You know, he gonna do a Jalen Hurts on these niggas. Watch, because we've seen the same thing with Jalen, from Alabama to the Sooners, how they did my guy dirty, and he was the one that got these guys to the championship. And we seen the outcome of that. Then what happened? Out of all them players, who got the first ring? We got to make it make sense. I do not own none of the copyrights. If you hear any music in the background, that's these bitch-ass people fucking up my life. These dumb-ass people fucking up my life. I do not own the copyrights to none of that corny-ass music. And I smack the shit out that rapper in real life. And you can have a gang of niggas with you. I'll put these motherfucking paws on you, nigga. Nigga, my shit all chopped up for punching on motherfuckers. Know what I mean? Then another thing about people, when you got certain fighters, they be like, oh, niggas never been in the ring. Nigga, how you know about us? Y'all niggas trying to be gangster niggas like us. Because I'm not a street nigga. I got felonies. I'm not a street nigga because I'm still trying to figure out what a street nigga is. But I realized a college nigga invented the word of street nigga. You understand me? Because when I was growing up, if you robbed niggas, you wasn't in the streets. You wait till a nigga go home. You was a house nigga. You wait till a nigga go home. You was a car nigga. Then you was a house nigga. You wait till a nigga go home, run in their house, and tie him up and do whatever. That's what robbing niggas do. A burglar was a cat burglar. He is breaking your house when you're not there. That was the bitchest robber in the world. Then you had your thieves, your boosters there running in, snatch a rat. The only niggas was in the streets was the hustlers, the whores, the pimps, and the smokers. So which one of the street niggas you? Y'all niggas gotta be smokers because y'all wasn't selling drugs. See, if you were selling drugs, you have a criminal record, dickhead. And this is the shit I be trying to figure out about the word street nigga because I don't know. I got felonies. And when I look at all these niggas, oh, I'm a real street nigga, but you got no record. What you did in the street? You was a smoker. You was a copper. That's what you was doing. You was going. You was a copper, nigga. You was a copper. That's all it was, man. And that's what it is out here, man. Then you got all of these other motherfuckers. I watch a lot of people talk about Devin Haney. Oh, he's not one of us. He ain't come from our background. He ain't come from this. Nigga, if you have your dad in your life and your dad trying to give you something better from what he had, what's the problem? But one thing I can say, Devin Haney was smarter than all of y'all niggas because he came in with his own promotional company. Must I say that again? Even though Devin Haney is chinny, and I don't like the soft shit he did, but the only best thing he did in his career, he came in with his own promotional company. He came in as a boss, nigga. That's the difference. And one thing I can say about Dev, doesn't matter if he chinny or not, he got a heart. That boy got a heart. But one thing I can say about Dev, if he stick to his jab and never ban his jab and just outbox people, that's all he got to do. That's all he got to do. It's just like with Shakur. Me personally, I know Shakur got power. He just don't want to be hit. And the reason I say that, because when Tank hit him that time, he made sure I would never get hit like that again. But me personally, I'm going to be real. Shakur is a counter boxer. He can outbox you, but his knockout power will come from a counter on some Danny Garcia shit. But he don't like to take a hit. And I promise you, if he was to take a hit and counter back, niggas will be falling. He will be mopping the floor with people. And another thing, I watch people talking about this Bud and Canelo thing. Bud is not a boxer. Bud like to fight. He like to get hit. He want to feel your power, then he wants you to feel his. That's the type of person I am. That's the type of person I know Tank is. Even Canelo is. Certain people are. You know? So that fight is going to be a brawler fight. It ain't going to be a person out slicking. It's going to be a brawler fight and somebody getting knocked out. That's what I'm. This motherfucker spin around the block again with this dumbass music, man. These niggas be soft as shit. If you want to listen to some music and a singer, nigga, listen to Jodeci, nigga. Look at this bitch ass nigga come back around again. For nothing. 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 The nigga don't even know what the fuck they saying in the song. Now I mean, that'd be the crazy. Nigga don't know what the fuck he be saying in the song. Like, niggas need Esau, nigga. Like, y'all niggas need translators and stuff. Y'all be fucking up my life, man. If I go down there and whoop their ass, it'd be a problem. But if I catch it, I'll smack the shit out y'all niggas that's blackballing me and shadow banning my shit, man. Real fucking rat. Yeah, my next show, I'm gonna drop a freestyle and shit. You know what I mean? They got me on some nut shit. Nah, they got me on some nut shit. You see that thing? Yeah. Niggas be really out here, man. Watching y'all corny niggas be on some Acapulco shit, nigga. You know what I mean by Acapulco? Y'all niggas like Acapulco hoes. Pussy be looser than Grey Goose, nigga. You know how a bitch drink a bottle with Goose, pussy be looser than the motherfucker. That's how y'all corny niggas be, man. Y'all corny niggas be trying to push it to the limit. Push it to the limit. Corny ass niggas, man. But you know, that be life, man. That be life. But you know, all I can say, man, boxing in 2025 been great. Been great. You know, seeing a lot of the biggest fights. seen a lot of the biggest fights that's being put on this year. Uh, it's great. I love it. I love it. I ain't got nothing to complain about. I ain't got nothing to complain about. You know, only thing is just to see PBC put on more fights. That's it. You know, and we see a lot of damn. That's crazy. That's crazy. That's crazy how they be snubbing niggas, man. That's crazy how they be snubbing niggas, man. It just be crazy out here. It's fucked up out here, man. Real rap is messed up out here. But you gotta keep it. Like me, I tell people keep the same motherfucking energy, right? You can be a fanboy to certain people. You can definitely be a fanboy to certain people, but don't be a nut hugger. You know, and what I mean by a nut hugger is, you know, you got a lot of people that create a narrative and spread false rumors on certain fighters because niggas want views and people want to go viral. You know, um, me, I just see the truth. You know, I just see the truth. I watch a lot of people situations turn dark. You know what I mean? I watch a lot of people's situations turn dark. And me personally, it makes no sense just to see certain situations happen like that. But if you let other people tell it, you know, a narrative, a lie, a myth can turn into a lying ass truth. And what I mean by a lying ass truth, a person like all of these, a person ducked this, a person ducked this, a person ducked this, but you don't know how contracts is set up, you know. And a lot of people contracts, you know, negotiations happen first. Once the negotiation happen, you know, the fighters get to talk in, you know, lawyers get to get involved, the advisors, the managers, etc., training camp, which is your coaches, you know, sparring partners, you know, the payment comes, how much you gonna pay them, you know, all of that shit happens. So let's say in a 6 to 8 week span, you know, you'll find out if a fighter gonna fight or not. And then between that 6 to 8 weeks, by the 8th week going into the 9th week, you're gonna see the first press conference. You know, cause I dissect this Boots versus Virgil shit, right? Cause during the time it happened, we just watched Turki and Oscar talks about Virgil fighting Bud if he beat Madrimov. I mean, not if he beat Bowenchuck. That's when Bud fought Madrimov, and this nigga fought Bowenchuck. And it happened. You know what I mean? Virgil won, and then we didn't get that. Then no, Thanksgiving came around, and all this boot shit happening, right? And Eddie Hearn, when you watch Eddie Hearn before he walked in the door, he said, "I called Boots. I didn't talk to Boots. The fight, I ain't talked to nobody in the family, but I talked to somebody." Right there, it was a red flag. Because I'm like, how you talk to somebody if Boots your fighter? You understand me? That's a red flag. But the first red flag was he said that Virgil and Golden Boy sent the offer to Eddie Hearn to fight Boots at 147. Now, mind you, Boots is the champion at 147. Virgil is not a champion. So if y'all send a contract to fight Boots at 147, Eddie Hearn, why would you send the contract back and say, is you sure at 147, not 154? Right there was a red flag. You know, all of this shit. Like, they had mentioned certain people names just to boost the fight. And Virgil Ortiz's last two opponents were his sparring partners. When Virgil Ortiz fought Bowenchuck, Virgil lost that fight. When Virgil fought Madrimov, he beat the shit out of Madrimov. Oh, he beat the dog shit out of Madrimov. But the key thing Virgil did was he kept that right up. He kept that right up. And Robert Garcia, Mikey Garcia, you know, the whole RGBA made sure, even Robert Garcia, they made sure, nigga, you keep that hand up. And when I seen that, I said, oh, he leveled up. Same thing I seen with Abdullah Mason when he got dropped. He came back in this fight, he leveled up. So now I want to see how Devin Haney leveled up because, bro, if you think you're going to beat an ex-champion that's powerful and Jose Ramirez, you got another thing coming. You must be out your rabbit ass mind. You must have a turtle brain. You must have, because a comeback fight, this is not no tune-up. This is not a tune-up. This is one of the dangerous fights for Devin Haney. And if Devin Haney can come out victorious, I'm talking about making it look easy, not us seeing a close fight, you know, because I thought he beat Lomachenko easily. Y'all just going by the sporadic moments Loma had at the end of 1 minute of every round. But if Devin Haney can really control this fight, keep his distance, establish that jab early in, attack the body, hit them arms, hit them elbows, it could be something different, man. It could be something different. Or like, no, the Regis Prograis performance he put on, you know, if he put on a performance like that, it can happen. But then again, you know, Jose tall and long. Me personally, I think Jose Ramirez is longer than Devin Haney. No diddy, you know. But this is the only person I got to see how his comeback will be. Because Abdullah Mason and Virgil, when they got dropped, they came back. They looked phenomenal, you know. And just to watch Jose Ramirez coming off that fake-ass Arnold Barbosa loss, which I thought he won. It depends how much they get. It depends how much they get, because $500,000, damn right, that's too much for a fine. It depends how much their money they getting, because if a person only making 1.2 million, hell yeah, that's happening. That's the majority they check. It's the majority they check. You know, like these fines be crazy. These fines be crazy, and especially like man, I don't know. It's just weird, man. It's just weird, man. Especially if you fighting at 147, the shit should be at 147. It shouldn't be no 144, because that's not a weight class. Y'all keep they want to mention this catch weight shit, but you're fighting at 147. Nah, that 144 should be at a junior welterweight fight. I mean, that shit should be labeled as a 140 fight. I mean, anything from 147 to 152 is a welterweight fight. But you know how these people go. They just be inventing shit, making shit up, man. And it's just crazy. It's just crazy. You know, then you just got these other promoters, you know, they just blood-sucking vampires raping all of their fighters. And then, you know, they want to spread propaganda. Talking about, y'all sent such and such a contract and they duck. And the whole time, you know you didn't, nigga. You know you didn't. You just want to make your fighter feel happy to understand, oh, yo, he sent the contract. I seen it. But you got the other fighters saying, y'all niggas ain't sent shit. You know? But the Shakur shit got me. It got me bamboozled. Like they hoodwinking us. Like, bro, you just went from a main event status with Top Rank to becoming the undercard. And this is his last fight at Matchroom. You should have went to PBC and took that one fight deal. You would have been rich. Know what I mean? Yeah, me personally, I think Top Rank dropped the ball with a lot of these fighters, you know, not making them pay-per-view stars, you know. They got Keyshawn now, you know. Hopefully they can push it with Keyshawn. Like Keyshawn and Edward De Los Santos should be a pay-per-view fight. You know what I mean? He got the belt. It should be a pay-per-view fight, but is it going to be a pay-per-view fight? I have no idea. Me personally, if it was a pay-per-view fight, I'd buy it. And even if Keyshawn do 50,000 or 70,000, 75,000 pay-per-view buys for his first pay-per-view, that's great. That's great. See, y'all people be looking at numbers. Even if Edgar Berlanga and Shiraz, whatever his damn name, Hamza was to do a 50,000K pay-per-view event. That's good because that's their first pay-per-view. Y'all, people be trying to look at all these outlandish numbers and be like, oh no, you got it. No, you don't. As long as you can do, if this your first time doing a pay-per-view, even if you do 20 to 25K, it's cool because that's your first pay-per-view fight during the streaming era. So 25 to 50K for your first pay-per-view is great. But if I was Turkey, I wouldn't hit the motherfuckers. Don't hit them at, no, you keep the shit at $50 on up. $50 is good and cheap for pay-per-view. But you're going to gain. Putting it down to 25, you only lowballing yourself. Because at the end of the day, we really don't know how much none of these fighters really getting because they signing NDAs. And that's the corny thing. That's the corny thing because you can say any number and people believe. You know? But when we see PBC fighters, we already know they purse before the motherfuckers was even fighting. You know? But to each his own, man. Turkey, if you see this, man, you need a match. Make come holler at me, man. I'll help you and Dana take TKO to a whole different motherfucking level. You know? Because I'm going to give you the sauce. I'm going to give you the game. TKO, technical knockout boxing. That platform, I'll leave it as a tournament platform. How Top Rank and how remember how Andre Ward won that tournament? I'll make TKO just like that. What I do is I take everybody. I probably start at. Sorry, if I'm going to do that, I'm gonna start at 126. I'm gonna get everybody at 126. I'm gonna get the top 5 at 126, the top 5 at 130. Create a tournament. I'm going to go to 135, 140, get the top guys, create a tournament. Which means is I'm going to grab the 4 champions, and I'm going to grab 4 contenders and 4 prospects. I'm going to create a fucking tournament. You do that through every weight class. 130, 140 tournament. 147, 154 tournament. 160, 168 tournament. 175, 200 tournament. And then you know the heavyweight bracket is the heavyweight bracket. But that's what I would do with TKO. Make it a tournament. In the tournament, the top guy get the ring magazine. You get the big ass ring trophy. You get the lineal title, and you run your division. That's what I do. You know what I mean? And ain't nothing wrong with that. You feel me? Ain't nothing wrong with that. Cause during the time all of the prospects and contenders fighting each other, you can pay them that 75, 100,000. You feel me? Is that when they fight a championship fight, the purse should be 10. Whoever got the belt get 20 million. If you win the belt, you get 10. If you lose, you get 5 million. You gotta break it down, man. I'll break that shit down. What? Turkey and Dana White boxing will be a tournament KO fest. I promise you, that shit will sell. That shit will sell. It would do it. Boy, the numbers it'll do will be super duper crazy, man. And me personally, I won't be surprised if Canelo and Bud fight be one of the first TKO fights. I won't be surprised that happened. Seriously, I won't be surprised. You know, but as long as they keeping boxing alive, like right now, how 2025 is, because 2025 been better than the last 3 years. Like 2025 been, man, we've been getting the greatest fights for a while. You know what I mean? And because I knew about Turkey loading all of these cards that it will fuck up a lot of things. Why? Because let's say the February 22nd card, those whole 10 fights could have been 10 main events. You could have stretched. You could have had a fight for every month. Could have had a fight for every month. But when you load in a card like that, you thinking it's going to sell. It's not going to sell. Why? Because the card that you loading up ain't none of them pay-per-view stars. And what I mean by that, they're not selling pay-per-views like Tank. They're not selling pay-per-views like Canelo. You understand me? And I'm going to be real. Jerron Boots Ennis, Keyshawn, Shakur, Terrence Bud Crawford, let me see who else. But anyway, do that shit in Japan. But over here, like, all of these people should be pay-per-view stars. If they're selling out, you can go to your hometown and do $1 million at the gate, sell 10,000 tickets, that's $1 million. And overdo it, you know, and throughout the whole course of that that event, you made $3-4 million, you a star. Now put the pay-per-view shit behind me. Because I'm putting asses in seats now. I know when I was growing up, once you win a belt, you became a pay-per-view star, and they catapult you to a whole different level. Nowadays, I don't know what the fuck going on, man. They just messing up boxing. They fucking boxing up. But this year it been saved. This year it been saved. This year it been saved. But hopefully Shedeur Sanders go to the second round. Hopefully he go to the second round. You know, if he go in the second round, or they probably do like a Tom Brady situation, like a Brock Purdy situation, make him the last person to go. Then if he the last person to get drafted, we already seen the story before. You're gonna wait 3-4 years, then he gonna come win a Super Bowl. Watch. But that's crazy. He ain't going the first round. That's crazy. That's crazy. But I would love to see I would love to see how this next week card play out, because the whole week gonna be lit. A lot of people counting William Skull out. Me personally, if Canelo don't get the knockout and it goes the distance, they're gonna take the belt from William Skull. We already see that. So William Skull, you gotta get the knockout. Because there's only two things. If it goes the distance, Canelo winning. And a lot of people got Canelo knocking him out. A lot of people got Canelo knocking him out. William Skull, he comes from the Cuban background, but it ain't really much. It ain't really much. Nothing special. It ain't really much. Nothing special. Could he pull it off? We don't know. We're gonna find out. We're gonna see, can he pull it off? We're gonna find out. We're gonna see, can he pull it off? If he pull it off, it's gonna be great. If not, it is what it is, man. If he don't, it is what it is. But let me put this phone on the charger. I'll be back like around 6 o'clock. Dollar.